Here in this question we have two tables are available. The first table name is book table and the second table name is book issue table. So in the first table, book table, we have three attributes are there: book ID, book name and category. So for all these three attributes, try to concentrate on the constraints. So book ID is the primary key in the book table, as well as for the name attribute there is no constraint at all, so that there is no problem at all. You can store the null values in the name also. And here for the category we have one constraint is there. The constraint is check. So in the category, so it has to accept only F or E letters only. So F category or E category only. And coming to the book issue table, so in this book issue table totally four attributes are there: issue date, and the data type of this issue date is date type and it is a primary key, as well as issue by is one more attribute. Issued by is also primary key in the book issue table. And here the book id is number type. Here the book id is acting as a foreign key. So the book id from the book table is acting as a foreign key in the book issue table. And we have one more attribute is available. The attribute is status attribute and it should not be null. Now the question is, which of the following columns allows null values? So from the two tables if we are going to observe, so in the first table book ID, it is a primary key. Primary key means it will be unique and it should not be null. So that book ID is not at all acceptable the null values and we should not consider it. Book ID is not at all acceptable null values in the book table. And for the name you can accept the null values. Why? Because there is no constraint at all. So in the name attribute we can store the null values. There is no constraint at all. But out of all the four options, none of the options are having name attribute. So next, consider the category. In the category we have check constraint is available, and here the flexibility with the check constraint is you can store the values with respect to the available category F or E, or you can store the null value also. In the check constraint related attribute, you can have the flexibility to store the null values. Check constraint will accept the null values also, so that in the book table, in the category attribute, we can have the flexibility to store the null value also. Now out of all the four options, we are going to observe in the book table, in the category attribute we can have the flexibility to allow null values. So here out of all the four options, the second option is right option. Now let me try to enter into the next table. In the book issue table, first two attributes are primary key attributes. Primary key attributes are not at all become null, so we should not make primary key attributes as null attributes. So we should not consider these two. Why? Because within that it is not possible to store null values. Now consider the book ID. Book ID is acting as a foreign key. In the foreign key constraint, no problem, we can have the flexibility to store the null values. In the foreign key constraint related attribute, we can have the flexibility to store the null values. Now in the book issue table, within the book ID, we can store the null values. Why? Because book ID is having the constraint foreign key. Now out of all the four options in the book issue table, so within the book ID we can allow the null values. There is no problem at all. It is also right option. And coming to the last one, status is not at all null. So why? Because it has its own constraint. The constraint is it should not become null. And if you are going to consider the last one, so here the last option is in the book issue table, issue date. In the issue date we should not store null. Why? Because so issue date is a primary key constraint, so that in the primary key we should not store null values. It is not at all correct option. First option is book id. In the book table, book id is the primary key constraint. Within that we should not store null values. It is also wrong option. Now out of all the four options, the right options are second and third. In the book table, in the category, so with the check constraint we can have the flexibility to store the null values also, as well as within the book issue table, so within the book id it is having foreign key constraint. Within the foreign key constraint there is no problem, we can store null values. So these two options are right options among the all the four options. Now coming to the next question. So here we have two tables are there: existing state table as well as desired state table. Here the question is, identify the minimum number of operations required to reach the desired state from the existing state to for the desired state. So how many operations that we need to perform? So here you can easily observe in the existing table totally we have 5 rows only, but in the desired table we have totally 6 rows are there. That means definitely there is one insertion is available. Now if you're going to observe, out of all the 4 options, so in the first option we have one insert option, and second option also we are having one insert, in the third option also we have one insert, in the fourth option also we are having 2 inserts. So no, it is not at all possible to perform 2 insertion operations from the existing state to the desired state. The reason is, so here the thing is, in the existing state 5 rows are available, and in the desired state we have 6 rows are available. It is possible to store one row in order to move to the desired state from the available existing state. So we can eliminate the last option. And coming to the first 3 options, now out of all these 3 options we need to choose the right option. So in order to choose the right option, all of you please observe. So now in the first table, so we have head first SQL is the name. For this the category is educational. So head first SQL is available in the desired table also, and its category is educational only. There is no change in the first row. Coming to the next one, to kill a mockingbird is the name, and the category is fiction. Whether the same row is available in the desired state or not, try to check it. Yes, in the desired state, to kill a mockingbird, and the category is fiction. There is no change at all in the second row also. What about the third row? Head first Python, and the category is educational. Head first Python is available and the category is educational. There is no change in the third row also. But if we are going to consider Banaras, city of light, here the category is travel. Here Banaras, city of light, but the category is tour. That means there is one updation with respect to the given category. Instead of travel, here the updation is tour. That means one updation is happen here. And as well as, so here one updation is there. And coming to the next one, a guide to Goa, and the category is travel. A guide to Goa is available, but here the category is tour. That means here one more updation is happening. So here one updation, here also one more updation. Totally 2 updations are available. 2 updations are available. And what about this row in the desired state? Actually this row is not at all available in the existing state. It is the new row that was inserted from the existing state into the desired state. So that here the insertions, the number of insertions are 1. One insertion is there, and as well as 2 updates are available. The one inserted new row is at first JavaScript, and the category is computer, and the 2 updations are, instead of travel category in the Banaras, city of light, and as well as a guide to Goa, instead of travel, so here the updated table, within the updated table we are having the category 2. So here 2 updations are there, one insertion is there. Now out of all the 4 options we are going to observe, so one insertion is available here and 2 updates are available in this particular second option. Out of all the 4 options, the right option is second option. First option is wrong, third option is wrong, fourth option is wrong. That's all. Coming to the next question, so we have one person table is there. This is the table structure. Within the table, ID, name of the person, age of the person, city. Here we have some constraints are there upon the person table. The constraint is ID is having primary key constraint, and the name is having unique constraint. In the unique constraint we have the flexibility to store the null values also. There is no problem. Only in the primary key it is not possible to store null values, please remember it. And as well as in the age attribute also, so it has the constraint check in the sense, so while at the time of storing the age is in between 10 to 40 years only, so we need to consider the value in between the range of 10 to 40 only, or otherwise we can store the null value in the check also. So in the age attribute we can store the null value also. Why? Because in the check constraint there is no problem of storing the null values. you can have the flexibility to store null value, or we need to provide the value in between the range of 10 to 40. And city is comes under the category of not null category. Definitely, while at the time of inserting the number of rows into the personal table, definitely for the city we need to provide the value. For the city we need to provide the value, as well as for the id. For the id also we need to provide the value, and the remaining two are optional. So for the name and age we can provide null values, or if you want to provide the value for the name, all the names should be unique. And for the age we need to provide null value, or if you want to provide the value should be range in between 10 to 40. Now, which of the following insert queries will execute successfully? Now try to observe what is the first query. Insert into person id name is. So here it is not possible to. So here we are not at all storing the city, person related city in this query. So but the city is not null, so that we should not consider this first query. Why? Because in the insert query definitely the city should be the mandatory attribute, but unfortunately in the first query we are not at all inserting the city related details. Coming to the second query, insert into person of id name age and city, and the values are id value is 6, no problem, and the name value is. So here the question mark with the one simple symbol is available, we need to consider it as double quotes. So the question mark symbol we need to consider it as a single quotes, so we need to consider it as a string. So name is of the type of varchar, and we are trying to store some string value, there is no problem at all. Coming to the age, so age has some check constraint is available. Before going to store the age should be in between 10 to 40 or null value. So here, but unfortunately we are trying to store 50. 50 is not at all possible to store in the age attribute. Why? Because age has some check constraint, within that we can store 10 to 40 value only, it is not possible to store 50. So we should not consider this second query also in order to insert the data into the available table. Now what about the third query? Insert into person. So id is the mandatory field, and age for the number, no problem. So number has unique constraint, and you can provide the unique in the name, it has unique constraint. So within that name you can provide unique name, or we can make it as null. So here I am not at all storing the name, there is no problem at all. In the unique constraint we have the flexibility to store the null values also. And coming to the age, here the age that I am storing here is 40, no problem. 40 is in the range of 10 to 40, and as well as the city is also mandatory field. id is the mandatory field, city is the mandatory field, and for upon the age we have check constraint is available. As per the given check constraint we are storing 40, and it is in the range of 10 to 40, so that it is the acceptable query. So and the city name is varchar, that means we need to provide the city name in the format of string. So here just consider these two question marks are acting as like as a single quotes. So this is the right option. What about the last option? Insert into person id name age city. All the four values we are trying to store into the given person table. So here the id is 8, it is the unique value, as well as the person name in the single quotes, consider them as a single quotes, and the age is 10. 10 is in the range of 10 to 40, there is no problem at all. As per the given check constraint it is valid, and the city of the person is London, it is also acceptable. So this is also right answer. Out of all the four options, the right options are 3 and 4. And coming to the next question, so let me try to go to the next question. So here in the next question, given the data provided below, choose the most suitable primary key. So as we already knew that primary key means we need to uniquely retrieve the particular record from the given table. There is no duplicates in the records. Now with the help of what is the best suitable primary key in order to identify the unique record from the available table. Now what is the first combination? If you are going to combine the multiple attributes, first name, last name and age. So with the combination of first name, last name and age, is it possible to retrieve the unique record? Try to observe. So for example, if you are going to consider first name, last name and age, here the first name Jack, last name is Brown, and as well as the age is 22. The same first name Jack, Brown, here the age is different, 20. That means there is no duplication at all till now. There is no duplication at all in the two rows. So Jack Smith 20. Here also there is no duplication among the all the three records. Why? Because we have the age difference in between, second row and third row. Why? Because first name and last names are same, but there is a difference in the age. These two are two different records. Up to here no problem. And coming to the first row and as well as third row, first name and age is same, but there is a name difference in between last name. Up to here we are retrieving the unique records. There is no problem. What about the next one? So Jeff Brown 20, it is also unique record. Jeff White 22, it is also unique record. Now the last record is John Brown 20. Already we have John Brown 20 records are available here. Please try to observe. So within the third row we are getting John Brown 20, and the same duplicate record is available in the last row also with the combination of first name, last name and as well as age, John Brown and as well as 20. So with the combination of first name, last name and age, it is not possible to retrieve the unique record. We are having duplication. So two duplications are there. 1, 2. Next one, last name, age, place of birth. Now let me try to consider last name, place, age, place of birth. So with the combination of last name, age, place of birth. So here Brown 20, London, Brown 20, Liverpool, Brown 20, Liverpool. So here also we are getting the duplication with last name, age and place of birth. So here the last name which is having Brown and the age is 20 and as well as the place of birth is Liverpool, that the same record is appearing more than one time. Brown 20, Liverpool. So that it is not at all possible to retrieve the unique record with the combination of last name, age and place of birth. We are getting duplicate records. So that we should not consider it as a primary key combination. First one is wrong and second one is wrong. Now let me try to consider the third option. What is the third option? So the third option is first name, last name, place of birth. So first name, last name and place of birth combination. So the first name, last name with place of birth combination. Jack is the first name, Brown is the last name, London is the place of birth. John, Jack, Brown, London. Here we are getting the duplicate records. So first name, last name, place of birth is same in the two records, so that we should not consider it as a primary key combination. So third option is also wrong. Till now we are getting first three options are wrong options. What about the last one? First name, last name, age, place of birth. With the combination of first name, last name, age and place of birth, try to observe. So let me try to take another color. Jack Smith 20, London, unique record. Jack Brown 22, London, unique record. Jack Brown, but there is a age difference 22, here 20, London. Up to in the all the four fields, in the all the four columns, first name, last name, place of birth is same, but there is a difference in between age. That means these two are unique rows, so no problem. And Jeff Brown 20, Liverpool, unique record. Jeff White 22, Liverpool, unique record. Jack Brown 20, Liverpool, it is also unique record. So now with the combination of first name, last name and age as well as place of birth, you can choose the primary key, so that you can retrieve the unique record from the available table without having any duplication. Now out of all the four options, the right option is last option. I hope with this you got the complete idea. Thank you.